Dear operators, I will be providing you with information about mechanics. Dear operators, in this video, I will provide information about the hydraulic and mechanical components of our machine. The boom section of our machine contains hydraulic hoses. Over time, the hoses on a machine that has been in operation for an extended period may become loose. If you detect an oil leak in the hoses, you should tighten them using a 24-27 millimeter wrench. Another mechanical aspect we need to pay attention to is the shafts. We need to ensure that the bolts on the shafts are tight. These machines are used in tough conditions, and when lifting loads, significant stress is placed on the shafts. Therefore, the bolts on the shafts may become loose over time. We should regularly check under the machine and ensure that the bolts you see here are tight. Additionally, it is necessary to check the bolts on the rear shaft as well. Dear operators, another important topic is how to change the transmission oil of our machine. Let me explain that to you as well. First, we open the hood. I remove the hose you see below. I drain the oil from the hose into a clean container. After this, I ask a fellow operator to start the machine. The machine continues to run until no more oil comes out of the hose. Once the oil flow stops, I turn off the machine. Finally, I replace the filters. Let me also show you how to replace and maintain the filters. You must clean and replace the filters located at both the upper and lower parts of the transmission at regular intervals. The transmission filter should be checked during oil changes. Let me show you where the transmission base filter is located. Dear operators, there is one filter located at the bottom of the transmission, also known as the transmission base filter. After draining the transmission oil, we will clean this base filter. First, we use a 13 millimeter wrench to remove the filter from the location I'm pointing to. After removing the filter, we clean it with diesel and ensure that the holes are clear and clean using compressed air. When reinstalling the filter, apply a liquid sealant to the edges. Dear operators, we have drained the transmission oil and replaced the base filter located at the bottom of the transmission. The base filter can be cleaned and reused. There is also another filter located at the top of the transmission. I will now show you where this filter is located. This filter is single use, so you should replace it with a new one whenever you change the transmission oil. Performing filter maintenance and replacements during oil changes is crucial for your machine's performance. Dear operators, couplings are used to safely transfer power from the engine to the boom system. Our machine has two blue couplings at the front and rear. If the control lever is held down continuously or the machine is overstrained, these couplings can be damaged, causing the boom to stop working. Here's how to replace these damaged couplings. On either side of the pump you see there are two 18-19 millimeter bolts. Remove these bolts. Then slide the pump backward and replace the couplings in this position. Dear operators, another mechanical issue is the collector plate located under the coils. The collector plate transmits the electrical signals from the coils to the transmission and plays a crucial role in the machine's movement. If there are burrs, cracks, or breaks in the gasket on this plate, the machine will either not move or will move in only one direction. If the coil lights are on and you are sure that electricity is reaching the coils, use a size 4 Allen wrench to remove the 3 coils. After removing the coils, take out the 13 millimeter bolts on the plate. Once the collector plate is removed, inspect the gasket for burrs, cracks, or breaks. On the transmission, there are bolts tightened with an Allen wrench. If these bolts show signs of oil leakage, wrap them with Teflon tape and ensure they are securely tightened. How can I measure the transmission pressure? How can I monitor it? As you can see, our transmissions are equipped with a pressure sensor. If you suspect that the pressure sensor is faulty, you can remove the pressure sensor and connect an oil pressure gauge. The white filter you see here is the transmission oil filter. This is different from the oil strainer below. The filter should be replaced with a new one at every oil change. change. Dear operators, another important aspect is the air filters. If you are using the machine in dusty environments, such as during the loading of feed, wheat, or bran, you should clean the air filters daily. Open the clamps on the sides of the air filter cover to remove it. Take out the filter and clean both parts thoroughly with compressed air before reinstalling them. This procedure is essential for the longevity of the engine. Our machine has a total water capacity of 19 liters, and 13 liters of this should be mixed with antifreeze. This helps prevent your machine from freezing during cold winter conditions. For the health of your engine, we recommend using antifreeze throughout the entire year. This practice ensures the long-term durability and efficient operation of your machine. In the engine compartment, it is essential to regularly check the tension of the compressor belt and the alternator drive belt. If these belts are loose, your machine may not charge properly and the engine may not be adequately cooled. The part you see below is the coupling. If this coupling wears out, the boom of your machine will not move up and down. If your control lever is unable to raise or lower the boom, the coupling may be worn and needs to be replaced. Proper functioning of the coupling is crucial for the correct movement of the boom. Dear operators, maintaining the correct hydraulic oil level is crucial for the efficient operation of your machine. The oil level should be 2 centimeters below the top point of the level hose. Keeping the oil at this level ensures that the pump performs optimally. Sometimes you may experience weak performance in lifting and lowering functions of the control levers. This is often due to low pressure. I will show you how to adjust the pressure to increase or decrease it. Here, you have a tap that can be adjusted with a 3mm Allen wrench. Turning the tap to the right increases the pressure, while turning it to the left decreases the pressure. You can manually adjust the pressure using a 200 bar pressure gauge. I will now show you how to measure the pressure. Now, to connect the pressure gauge, we remove this hose from the pump. We remove this hose. I connect the hose I removed to the male fitting of the pressure gauge. I connect the female part of the pressure gauge to the location on the pump where we removed the hose. After connecting the pressure gauge to the pump, we start the machine. Lower the boom completely using the control lever. At this point, you should feel the machine working harder. When the machine is under strain, the pressure gauge should read 200 bar. If the pressure is below 200 bar, use a 3mm Allen wrench to turn the tap to the right, increasing the pressure to 200 bar. If the pressure is above 200 bar, you can decrease it by turning the tap to the left with the Allen wrench. On the pressure gauge, we have adjusted the main pressure to 200 bar. Next, we set the attachment to the dumping position. In the dumping position, the pressure should be 120 bar. You can adjust the machine's pressures so that the attachment is set to 200 bar in the collection position. Where do we add oil to the differentials? I will show you. You can add oil to the differentials through each of the plugs you see on the wheels. Information about which oil to use for the differentials is provided on labels attached to important locations on the machine. From this plug and from this plug. You can also add oil to the differential from the plug located at the rear of the machine. I would also like to show you that plug. You can add oil from the plug you see here. Dear operators, regularly have engine maintenance performed at authorized service centers and change the engine oil and filters as scheduled. This is essential for maintaining performance and longevity. Dear operators, I have provided information about the mechanical aspects. Don't forget to follow the other videos.